From the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, it's time for Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl.
Welcome to Center Stage here at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford. I'm Eyewitness News anchor Mimi Murphy, and we are thrilled you joined us tonight for the season 11 finale of the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. A big thanks to our friends from Rockford Public Library and Collins Aerospace for once again letting us call this historic theater our home. Tonight is a special one. For the fourth time in as many years, we will have a different first-time champion. Will it be the Keith Country Day Cougars? Or the Dixon Dukes? They're all good sports. We will know within the hour. This is Keith's second time in our finale. The other time, season 4. They made it here tonight with their traditional balanced attack and wins over Stillman Valley, Harlem Huskies, AFC, and Winnebago. Overall, the Cougars were the second highest scoring team, averaging just under 400 points a game. Joining them tonight, the Dixon Dukes. Up until 2 seasons ago, Dixon had never made it out of the second round. The Dukes made it to tonight's championship game with wins over Galena, Morrison, and that amazing victory over the Auburn Knights. Head-to-head, tonight's teams have squared off only once, and that was back in season 7. The Cougars won, but that was a long time ago. Before we get to the game and hand out the i3 Fiber Championship Trophy and that $5,000 cash prize, let's get to know our host for tonight's big game, Greg Peterson.
Mics are ready, buzzers primed. The stage is set for the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl.
The depth of the player base here in Northern Illinois is something that everyone in the community should be really proud of.
Welcome to the Collins Aerospace Studio here at the Nordloff Center. I'm Greg Peterson.
That's Greg Peterson, the new host for season 11, and what a host of experience he brings to the lectern. He's been a contestant on 3 major game shows himself.
I was on Jeopardy as a high schooler, my senior year of high school back in 2007. And then I'm now a lawyer, and when I was in law school, I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then more recently I was on an ABC show called The Chase.
Congratulations! That is $660,000, $220,000 for each of you.
It's a different experience being on this side of it, especially on TV, but I am having a blast.
The team behind the scenes is set to go as the show gets rolling, making sure audio is good, directing the cameras. All the moving parts go into making sure what you see at home is a smooth game that's easy to follow. Keith Country Day School junior Jack Klinger says he's ready to have a blast. His school is ready to compete this season.
A lot of the questions on State Line are geared towards kind of my wheelhouse of answering questions, like the pop culture and the humanities, and that's kind of like my area in Quiz Bowl, what the kind of questions I answer.
Have fun. His coach, Kristen Burns, spends months preparing the students for the Quiz Bowl. She says she's proud to see them perform on stage.
I am always proud of my kids. I always tell them any day, any given packet, just go out, do your best, have a great time, and be good sports.
Peterson says he's excited to see how this season plays out.
I think what you can look forward to is watching a bunch of kids know stuff where you can't even figure out how they learned that.
As for what's more fun, competing or hosting, Peterson says,
I don't know what's more fun, because winning on those game shows is definitely a lot of fun, but this is definitely less stressful, and that's very nice.
Now time to watch our local kids shine as bright as the lights.
After the break, we're going to look at the Dukes' journey to the finale and get a special challenge from Dixon's mayor.
This is our first time seeing the Dixon Dukes this season after they had that first round bye. What 2-word Latin phrase, which means always faithful, is the motto of the U.S. Marine Corps? Ask Nathan.
Semper Fi?
Yes. What particles, which are studied by the T2K and Super Kamiokande experiments? Nathan?
Neutrinos.
Neutrinos. Nice buzz. What political party, which nominated Millard Fillmore for president in 1856, championed nativism and despised? That is Nathan.
Know Nothings?
Yes. The untuned tam-tam is a type of what round instruments typically suspended that is bent?
A drum?
Sorry, no. It's typically, Nathan?
A gong?
Yes. And on the last question. Excellent game, both teams, but that is Dixon with the 20-point win. Dixon 310, Auburn 290. This was, I think, probably the best game we've seen Plano Round all series. Both teams should be very proud of what just happened.
Welcome back to the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl Season 11 finale. Dixon has been part of Quiz Bowl since our start back in 2015, but it hasn't always been the easiest road for the Dukes. In Season 1, some transportation issues kept them home. A couple years ago, they competed with just one player. Joining me now is Dixon's coach, Tom Padilla. Tom, thanks so much for joining us. Now, I alluded to some of the rough patches a bit ago. How excited are you to have watched this program grow to where now you're in the finale?
Pretty excited. I would say that kind of unexpected, to be honest with you. The competition is very stiff, and I know we had a great team, but I really did not expect to go this far. I thought maybe next year, with the experience with some of our younger players, we might be able to make a move. But wow, to beat Auburn, was just absolutely beyond my wildest expectations. And so to be in this final game is just a dream come true.
To our viewers at home, the camaraderie among your team is obvious. How much of that comes from you, and how much is just your team just doing what they do?
I think that a lot of it is my team doing what they do, but I will say this. I, as the coach, and my assistant, Ryan Hoffman, I think that we set a tone for these players. We want them to be comfortable. We want them to be eager and excited, and we want them to be who they are. And so I think that in our practices and in our interactions, we set that tone for them, and then they take it from there, and they have taken it a long way. They are great friends. It's a great team. It's just so much fun to hang around with them.
And lastly, we saw the team add some ties into the mix. So who came up with that idea, and will we be seeing them again tonight?
I actually think it was Ronan Quick. I'd have to double check, but I know that I saw him passing some out at one of the matches. So it was probably he and Nathan that got together and talked about it. But I certainly think that they would not want to break any kind of mojo that they have going on. So I'm pretty sure you're going to see some ties tonight.
Sounds like a good luck charm. All right. Well, we wish you and your team the best. Thanks so much, Tom. After a quick timeout, I'll catch up with Keith's coach. But before we do that, a special message from Dixon's Mayor Glenn Hughes.
My name is Glenn Hughes. I'm the mayor of the city of Dixon. I recently became aware that Dixon High School's Quiz Bowl team and Keith Country Day Quiz Bowl team are meeting for the championship of the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. I would like to challenge Mayor Tom McNamara. My proposal, Mr. McNamara, Mayor McNamara, is that if Dixon wins, you will pay personally $100 to the Dixon High School Extracurricular Fund, and at the next City Council meeting after the championship, wear apparel, hat, shirt, whatever, from Dixon into that council meeting. I hope this is acceptable to you, and may the best team win.
Here in Season 11 of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, we have a new host, and we have some new set elements, but the game's the same. And we have two teams today that have been here with us since basically the start, although they've never played each other before. What Baroque musical work, often performed at weddings, features a bass line that, Jack?
Canon and D.
That's all I need. That's Pachelbel's Canon, but Canon and D will do it, and that is the end of the round and the game. What state, which in 1992 was the site of the Ruby Ridge standoff, is nicknamed the Gem State and governed from its capital, Boise? Merrick.
Idaho.
Yes. What city includes the modernist Casa Batlló and Casa Milà, designed by Antoni Gaudí? And Merrick?
Barcelona.
Barcelona has a lot of Gaudí. What country's Sumar coalition and PSOE party support Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez alongside regionalist parties from the Basque Country and Ottoman?
Spain.
Spain it is. And that's the round, and that's the game. So congratulations to Keith Country Day. 420 is a very solid score, and you're off to the final.
Like Dixon, Keith Country Day has been with us since the beginning, and they're no stranger to the finale. This is the second time the Cougars have played in our championship game, but their first since season 4. Joining me now is Keith's coach, Kristen Burns. Kristen, thanks so much for being with us. We really appreciate it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Keith has consistently been one of our top scoring teams. How do you prepare for Quiz Bowl?
Well, it's any given day, any given packet, and I always tell the kids, do your best, support each other, and most of all, just have fun. We do a lot of practices. We sign up for every tournament we can feasibly drive to. We put the work in ahead of time, and when it comes time for the game, it's just, what, guys, you know what you're doing. Do your best, have fun, and enjoy the process.
Well, you're very humble, but I'm guessing, given the success of your middle schoolers that they've had in our junior edition, that you may have suspected this year would be a special one. Did you ever envision you'd be here tonight at the finale?
This has been just one heck of a wonderful season. The high school team, I coach both the high school and the middle school programs, and this group of high school students I've coached most of them since they were in 5th grade. So it's a very a trusting group. They're very cohesive. They balance each other really well. It's just been a really special season, watching them really develop and continue to grow as players, teammates, students. So, really, it was a great surprise. It's a great honor. I never envisioned things like this, but when they happen, it's fantastic, and we work towards them. But like I said, it's any given day, any given packet. You never really know what's going to happen, but you always hope for the best, and you have a great time along the way and learning in the process.
Now, you mentioned the junior edition. We're actually kicking off our junior edition in just a couple of weeks. So how important is it to have a high school team that helps the younger students prepare for Quiz Bowl?
Oh, sure. Well, what's really nice is I teach in the 6th grade through 12th grade building. So when we host a tournament, say for the middle school kids, the high school kids will volunteer and help as moderators, scorekeepers, all of that kind of stuff. Likewise, when we host tournaments for high school kids, the middle school kids are helping out with scorekeeping. It's a really cohesive unit where, and we're small enough, so every kid knows each other. And they all support each other along the way. So the high school kids will text the middle school kids when they're at tournaments and say, how are you guys doing? The little guys will always be texting the big guys and being, wondering how they're doing. So it's really a nice, tight-knit community, and there's really a place for everybody, and they support each other's growth. And the big guys really inspire the littler guys, and we just kind of all work along the way. And my current high school kids were inspired by our alumni. Many of our Quiz Bowl alumni, actually almost all of our Quiz Bowl alumni, are all in contact with me still, and they're always asking how the kids are doing. A lot of them come to these, State Line Quiz Bowl filmings, and they're just always supporting the kids and wanting to know, how the program is doing since they've graduated and, moved on to, being adults and not, Quiz Bowl kids anymore. So it's just a great, very special, unique community and program that we've put together over the years. So it's been really just a joy to, watch it all kind of come to fruition and, to have such an outstanding season this year.
And very successful. And I just love that you're so cohesive and close. Thanks so much, Kristen, for your time. We wish you and your team all the best. We are ready to start the game, but before I hand the reins over to Greg, Rockford's Mayor Tom McNamara has a response to Mayor Hughes' challenge.
Hi, my name's Tom McNamara, and Mayor Hughes, I certainly heard your challenge. I'm responding to that challenge and accepting it happily because I know Keith Country Day is going to win today. If Keith loses, I will gladly donate $100 to Dixon. I will gladly wear a Dixon shirt to Rockford City Council, but I also think we need to make sure that everyone knows what's going on, and let's also post this challenge on social media. So all I have to say, Mayor Hughes, challenge is accepted. Keith Country Day, go get 'em.
From the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, it's time for Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl.
And welcome back to the Collins Aerospace Studio here at the Nordloff Center. As you saw earlier, I'm Greg Peterson. By now you know a lot about our two teams, and you know that each team is playing for their first championship here on Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Before we get into the gameplay, let's meet our teams one final time, beginning with Mitch and the Keith Country Day Cougars.
I'm Mitch, captain of the Keith Country Day School Quiz Bowl team. To my left is Ottman, to my right is Merrick, and to my far right is Jack.
Welcome back. And facing off against them tonight, it is the Dixon Dukes, led by their captain, Owen.
Hi, my name is Owen. I'm the captain of the Dixon High School Scholastic Bowl team, coached by Mr. Badia. To my near right is James, to my near left is Nathan, and to my far left is Ronan.
Welcome back to both teams. I'm not going to go over the rules here. It's the final. We know how it works by now. So we start off, as always, with the buzz-in round, which is brought to you by Rockford University. 10 points a question, fingers on buzzers. Let's have some fun. What thinker praised the concept of amor fati in Ecce Homo and wrote a work that is Ronan?
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche is correct. Extinct and dormant volcanoes are contrasted with what class of volcanoes that have erupted? Jack?
Active.
Yes. Just within recorded history is all you need to be active. What novel in which Melanie Hamilton marries her cousin? That is Merrick.
Gone with the Wind.
Excellent buzz, yes. What equation, which is an amalgamation of Avogadro's law, Boyle's law, Charles's law, and Ronan?
The ideal gas law.
Correct. PV equals nRT. Hamlet's "What a Piece of Work is a Man" monologue is addressed to what two minor characters? Ottman.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Correct. In 1587, what infant girl became the first English child born in a New World colony? Jack?
Virginia.
Prompt.
Oh, shoot. Virginia Brown.
Sorry, no, but I think I have the last word. Colony. Nathan?
Virginia Smith.
No, it's Virginia Dare there, and we do need that last name. Next question. What German composer of the oratorio Elijah and the Scottish Symphony wrote incidental music for the Shakespeare? That's Nathan.
Liszt.
No, sorry. I'll finish the question. For the Shakespeare play, A Midsummer Night's Dream. That's Merrick.
Mendelssohn.
Yes. What Spanish tennis player won the men's singles? That's Merrick.
Carlos Alcaraz.
Well done, yes. The aggression paid off. What country, whose city of Rakhiv is near the source of the Tisa River, has a major Black Sea port at Odessa and has its... That's Nathan.
Ukraine.
Won the buzzer race, yes. What term for a scale that consists of all 12 notes in an octave? Nathan?
Chromatic.
Yes. What name is shared by the author of The Way of Perfection from Avila and the founder of the Missionaries of Charity who worked in That is Jack.
Teresa?
Yes, that's St. Teresa of Avila and then Mother Teresa. What organelle is the site of autophagy, malfunctions in Tay-Sachs disease, and contains lipases and hydrolases that digest cellular... Nathan?
Lysosomes.
Yes. What empire lost to the Seljuk Turks at the 1071 Battle of Manzikert, thus losing control of Anatolia? Nathan.
The Byzantine Empire.
Yes. In 2025, Brooke Rollins succeeded Tom Vilsack as secretary of what cabinet department that oversees the Farm Service Agency and Nathan?
Department of Agriculture.
Won the buzzer race, yes. A refrain from T.S. Eliot's poem, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, Merrick?
The Great Gatsby.
Sorry, no, I'll finish the question. Describes women who come and go, talking of what, Ronan?
Michelangelo.
Yes. What poet, whose Carmen Seculare was commissioned by Augustus, wrote 4 books of odes, one of... That's Jack.
Virgil.
Sorry, no, and I'll finish the question. One of which tells the reader carpe diem, or seize the day. Ronan?
Horace.
Yes. In the biopic Blonde, Marilyn Monroe was portrayed by what Cuban-born actress, whose breakout role was as the maid Marta in Knives Out? And that's time. That's Ana de Armas there. Well, we finally got one past you, but it is 60 for Keith Country Day and 90 for Dixon. So we have, I think, the high-scoring game that we all expected to see happen. We'll be back for the volleyball round right after this. And welcome back to our final here. It's time for the volleyball round where the teams are going to get to collaborate and work as a team instead of individually. But before we get there, I would like to thank our judge today, who is Dr. Patty Lynott, the president of our sponsors, Rockford University. Dr. Lynott, thank you for your help today. Thank you for making sure everything goes smoothly and by the book. And thank you to all of our judges over the course of the season. We couldn't do that without them. Volleyball round. All the answers need to be coming from the captains. We're going to alternate teams, and we're going to begin with a question for Keith. In a Middle Eastern folktale, what woodcutter uses the phrase "open sesame" to access a cave where thieves have hidden their treasure?
Alibaba.
Yes. Dixon. What FX series, which won a record 18 Emmys in 2024, is based on a historical novel by James Clavell and stars Hiroyuki Sanada as a Japanese warlord?
Shogun?
Yes. Keith. What hometown of the medieval scholar Alcuin shares its name with the dynastic house represented by a white rose that fought the House of Lancaster?
York.
Yes. Dixon. In 1911, nearly 150 garment workers died in a tragic fire at what company's New York City factory, spurring workplace safety reforms?
Triangle Shirtwaist?
Yes. Keith. What object, which may have been taken from the river god Achelous or the goat Amalthea, is a symbol of abundance, also called a horn of plenty?
Cornucopia.
Yes. Dixon. Maurizio Catalan's artwork, Comedian, which sold at auction for over $6 million in 2024, consisted of what object duct taped to a wall?
Banana?
Yes. Keith. What novel in which the protagonist's husband, Virgil Woods, dies after contracting rabies centers on Janie Crawford and is by Zora Neale Hurston?
Their Eyes Were Watching God.
Is correct. Dixon. Gold and platinum both exemplify what property that's the ability to draw a metal out into a thin wire?
Ductile?
Yes, ductility, ductile, either would work. Keith, what team hired sabermetrician Bill James as an advisor under GM Theo Epstein, won the 2004 and 2018 World Series, and plays at Fenway Park?
Boston Red Sox.
Yes. Dixon. What Scottish teacher instructs 6 10-year-old girls, whom she calls her set, in a novel by Muriel Spark titled For Her Prime?
The Mysterious Benedict Society?
No, that novel's called The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. Keith, what man who operated an extortionate 500-slave fire brigade died at Kari during a 53 BC campaign against Parthia, ending the First Triumvirate?
Crassus.
Yes. Dixon, what city on the western edge of Casco Bay is the most populous city in Maine?
Bangor?
Worth a shot, but it's Portland. Keith, what city, whose namesake chili has onions and is served over spaghetti in its four ways style, is in southern Ohio and is home to the NFL's Bengals?
Cleveland.
No, sorry, it's Cincinnati. And that is our round. The close game has continued. Going into our next break, it is Keith Country Day 120, Dixon 130. It's playing like it's a final, folks. See you in a moment.
Originally a 1966 television series, which action movie franchise consists of 8 films and is fronted by Tom Cruise?
Welcome back to the studio where we have a 10-point lead for Dixon right now. So with the points this close, I think the thing to do is to stop playing for points and play the Bergstrom bonus question, brought to you by Salamone's Italian Restaurant. This is one question on the buzzer. The winner will earn for their team a pizza and pasta party to Salamone's. Here we go. Originally a 1966 television series, which action movie franchise consists of 8 films and is fronted by Tom Cruise? Owen.
Mission Impossible.
Is correct. So Owen, you have won for you and your team a pizza and pasta party courtesy of Salamoni's. And Keith, it's the final. We have a pizza and pasta party for you as well. You make it this far, you deserve good food. So we'll be back to playing for points in a moment with the lightning rounds, and we'll see you right after this. And welcome back to our final set of lightning rounds, which are powered, as always, by IBEW NECA. Keith, you went first on the volleyball, so we're going to start the lightning round over here with Dixon. Dixon, you are choosing between college locations, villains from British literature, or men named John. What do you think?
Villains in British literature.
Okay. So you'll have a minute. I do need all the answers coming from the captain. Keith knows that they're going to have 30 seconds to clean up anything you leave behind. I need you to name the British authors who created these literary villains. Let's roll. The dictatorial pig Napoleon.
Orwell.
Yes. The pickpocket ringleader Fagin.
Dickens.
Yes. Jadis, the White Witch.
Skip.
The pirate Long John Silver.
Stevenson.
Yes. The dragon Smaug.
Tolkien.
Yes. The tiger Shere Khan.
Kipling.
Yes. School headmistress Agatha Trunchbull.
Dahl.
Yes. The charming gambler George Wickham.
Skip.
The housekeeper Mrs. Danvers.
Skip.
The sniper Colonel Sebastian Moran.
Doyle.
Yes. Jadis, the White Witch.
Lewis.
Yes. The charming gambler George Wickham. And that is time, but you got 8 of those right, so nice job. 2 left coming your way, Keith. Again, name the British authors who created these literary villains in 30 seconds. The charming gambler, George Wickham.
Austen.
Yes. The housekeeper, Mrs. Danvers.
Du Maurier. Du Maurier.
Maurier.
Say it again.
Maurier.
Prompt.
Du Maurier.
Du Maurier.
Yes. Nice fix there. That was the last question we had. So we got all 10 between us. Well done. Mrs. Danvers is the villain from Rebecca. So that is 80 and 20. Keith now trailing by 70 and choosing between college locations and men named John.
College locations.
Okay. In 60 seconds, I'm going to need you to name the state that is home to these pairs of colleges or universities. Here we go. Bryn Mawr and Gettysburg.
Pennsylvania.
Yes. Princeton and Rutgers.
New Jersey.
Yes. Cornell and Syracuse.
New York.
Yes. Duke and Elon.
North Carolina.
Yes. Fitchburg State and Amherst.
Pass.
Northwestern and DePaul.
Illinois.
Yes. Southern Methodist and Rice.
Texas.
Yes. Spelman and Morehouse.
Pass.
Occidental and Stanford.
California.
Yes. Johns Hopkins and Towson.
Maryland.
Yes. Fitchburg State and Amherst.
Massachusetts.
Yes. Spelman and Morehouse.
Florida.
No. But 9 out of 10. Dixon, you have 30 seconds, should you need it, to name the state that is home to this pair of colleges or universities. Spelman and Morehouse.
Michigan?
No. It is Georgia, actually, for Spelman and Morehouse. So that means we're going to head into our final challenge here with Keith Country Day at 230, Dixon at 210. We've had some good scores this season, breaking 200. We have an entire round left to play, and both teams are already over that. See you in a moment. And welcome back to our final challenge of the season. Like all the other ones, it's brought to you by Mercy Health. We have a 20-point margin and a bunch of 20-point questions. Let's have some fun. You should both be proud of what you've done to get here. Let's just keep going, though. Question 1. What dynasty, whose Daoguang emperor attempted to suppress the opium trade in the 1830s? Nathan.
Qing.
Yes, the Qing dynasty. What author imagined how the distant strains of triumph may burst on someone's ear in a poem that opens with the line, "Success is counted sweetest"? Ottman.
Dickinson?
Yes. What fictional trio sings a chant with the line, "Double, double, toil and trouble"? And that's Jack.
The Three Witches.
That's all I need. What 1274 BC battle, the earliest to be documented in detail, was fought between Jack?
Oh, the Battle of the
Time, I'm
Sahara.
afraid. I'll continue the question. Was fought between Egyptian and Hittite chariots near a town on the Orontes River. Sebastian?
Battle of Kadesh.
Yes. Next question. What number assigned to quartz on the Mohs scale of hardness is the atomic number of nitrogen? And that's Merrick.
7.
Yes. The adjective riparian refers to areas adjacent to what type of geographical feature? Ottman?
Rivers.
Yes. What group, which includes bodies of water named Skinny Atlas, Cayuga, and Seneca, is a collection of, that's Ronan.
Waterfalls.
No, sorry. I'll finish the question. Is a collection of lakes in New York named for a body part? Ottman?
Finger Lakes.
Yes. What author's novel, The Road Back, is a sequel to his Ronin?
Dumas.
No, sorry. I'll finish. Is a sequel to his landmark 1929 World War I novel about German soldier Paul Boehmer. Ottman?
Remark.
Yes. What title stonemason fathers little father time and falls Ottman?
Jude the Obscure.
Yes. A word meaning entrust gave its name to what Spanish New World system in which indigenous Ronan?
Encomienda.
Yes. What battleship which sank the HMS Hood before being hunted? That's Sebastian.
Bismarck.
Yes. Next question. Nicholas Copernicus's work helped overturn the geocentric model of what second, Jack?
Ptolemy.
Yes. In 2024, Chinese company BYD became the world's largest producer of, that is Ronan.
Energy vehicles.
I'll prompt.
Electric vehicles.
Yes. Next question. The quote, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven," comes from what Old Testament? That is Jack.
Ecclesiastes.
Correct. What author, whose final novel was 2006's Farewell Summer, included such stories as The Million-Year Picnic in his 1950 book, The Martian Chronicles? That's
Bradbury.
Ronan. Say it again?
Bradbury.
Yes. And that is the game. Folks, that is 410 for Keith, 330 for Dixon. Dixon, you have been outstanding. I think this and your semifinal have been the two best games of the entire season. You've been a key part of that. Unfortunately, one win and one loss in those two, but it's been an absolute pleasure to have you. And I have a hunch that we're going to be seeing you playing this deep into the competition next season as well. Keith, they scored 330 points and you just beat them. That's a first championship, and what a way to do it. You've been an outstanding team all series, and you just beat an outstanding team. So it's been an absolute pleasure to host this series. We'll be back with the trophy presentations right after this. And welcome back, folks. It's time for the trophy presentations, and we're going to start with our runners-up, the Dixon Dukes. So presenting the trophy for second place is Teresa Althoff from our sponsors at i3 Fiber. Congratulations again to the Dukes. And it's not just a trophy, it's also $2,500 in scholarships. So presenting that to Dixon, it is Executive Director and General Manager of WTVO and Fox 39, Mike Selecchia. Congratulations again to Dixon. I think, as I said earlier, it's safe to say that they've been a key component of the 2 best single episodes we've had this season. We'll be back in a moment with the presentation of our championship trophy.
Winners of the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl receive a trophy presented by i3 Fiber. Get 2 gigs, only $60 a month. i3 Fiber, here for you.
Tired of paying too much for outdated cable internet? Want better streaming, no-lag gaming, and fast upload speeds? You and your family deserve better and faster internet. i3 Fiber is insanely fast. Work from home, you'll absolutely love us. Try i3 today at i3riskfree.com. We have a 1-year no-contract price guarantee and get amazing fiber reliability starting as low as $19.99. Nothing is faster than fiber. i3 Broadband, here for you.
And now it's time for the presentation of our championship trophy to a Keith Country Day team that absolutely earned it, playing some very tough competition to get here. Presenting the championship trophy from i3 Fiber, Teresa Althoff. And presenting Keith with a $5,000 scholarship, it is Vice President and General Manager of WTVO and Fox 39, Mike Selecchia. Folks, this has been a great season. I've had an absolute pleasure hosting it. Hope next season's just as good, but for the moment, it's just a straight congratulations to Keith Country Day. Thanks, Greg. Nice job. Nice job.